Hey everybody, it's Bear. It is Monday, September 2nd, 2024, and I wanted to talk about open bay showers in the military. I don't want to keep making excuses. I haven't made a video in a hot minute. I'm a busy person. There hasn't been a lot of topics. People haven't asked very new questions in a long time. There is somebody that asked some stuff about like trans medical care that I want to get to. But I haven't been able to. I've been traveling and just doing a lot. So the question of open bay showers comes up all the time, and there's a huge wave of people that are working really hard to get into the military right now, and so it's a really pertinent question, and I wanted to knock out a video about it. This is just way easier than typing a response every single time I see the question. Do the video, post it. Some people see stuff on YouTube. Some people, like, I can send this to them, whatever. So, okay. Open bay showers. Yes, it's a thing. It's a thing in basic training for everybody. And it is super uncomfortable. It's a really, really valid question to be asking and a very normal thing to be kind of worried and anxious about. It is the norm. It is the standard. At least in the Air Force, everybody is in the open bay or group shower situations. Some dorms have a bigger one, some have a smaller one. The Army has a couple different locations that they do basic training at. I know one of them has some dorms that have shower stalls, and then the rest is the same thing, open bay training. I don't know that much about the Navy or the Marines as far as their training facilities go. I am very sorry about that. I don't know, but I would imagine the majority is the same thing, the open bay shower situation. So, I also know that in the Air Force, a couple people have gone through and they've had an accommodation for being transgender where they were allowed to use a separate shower from their flight. And I personally think that that's a really bad policy, and I think it should go away. The reason is that basic training is an environment that is meant to break down the individual and build up the unit or the team. And when you get special treatment, it makes you stand out. It makes the rest of your team build a resentment against you. And nobody is really excited about the open bay shower. Your cisgender teammates, fellow soldiers, fellow airmen, what have you, they are also feeling pretty apprehensive and grossed out about the open bay shower situation, and here you are getting special treatment. I think it's a super bad call. Personally, that's something that, like, when I was going in as one of the first trans people to go through, like, it was something that was talked about, like, is this something that you want to try to arrange? And I said no. And it was for those reasons. So that would be my advice to anybody that's asking these questions, like, can I get accommodations? Think about what you're asking for. And also think about the environment that you're in. Everything in basic training is all about speed, getting stuff done as quickly as possible, including showers, including the hygiene routine. It's all about speed. And if you are in trouble, if everybody's gotten in trouble that day, one of the things they take away from you is time. So, like, you might start out with 10 minutes to do your shower routine, and then they'll cut it down to 9, 8, 7. There were times that we were supposed to get showered in like 4 minutes. It's impossible. And it means that you are in there for a very short period of time, and everyone is focused on just getting their body clean and getting the heck out. So be comforted in the fact that your concern is not just because you're trans. Everybody is concerned, and like nobody, at least in basic training, is really paying attention. Now, I've been in group shower situations since then as well, which is part of the reason I wanted to do a video. People are really focused on this being a problem, quote unquote, for basic training, but it doesn't stop there. I was recently in a training environment, and night one, when we got there and we got in processed, everybody was kind of gross from traveling all day and sitting outside in the heat, and wanted to take a shower, so we all like kind of threw our stuff down in our rooms, grabbed our hygiene kits, and headed to the bathrooms. And boom, it's an open bay shower with 6 shower heads, which means that people are now waiting to get in there, and everybody's just like, man, really, like this again? Yeah, this again. It's going to happen from time to time. You're just going to be in those situations where this was the most efficient way for them to build a facility that they could build and then keep clean. So remember why they exist as well, and also remember that this used to be the norm in society, right? Like in school, you were in group showers, in gym facilities. That's just kind of what it was, and so of course the military was the same. So that's part of the reason that that the shower situation is like that, is that was the norm in our society. And like I said, it's also just the easiest way to keep things clean. So I guess just keep all that in mind as you're contemplating whether this is the life for you. It's not just basic training, tech school or AIT, what have you. They exist there too. And then when you go into these training environments, and quite possibly if and when you deploy, it's going to be the same thing. Think about that. These are the things that you're like kind of signing on for. And then just a tip, and this is something I talked about right after basic training, when I talked about some of these specific things that we were all concerned about. I talked about like just my trick, and I saw a lot of people doing this just a few months ago when I was at training, is to kind of strip down, maybe leave your underwear on under your towel, and then wrap your towel around your waist, and then walk to the shower head that you're going to use and unwrap your towel there. So at least you're not walking around like where people are just sort of inherently going to see you and see that maybe something is a little bit different about you. And I saw a lot of people doing that, including, I can only assume that everyone or almost everyone that was there, and there were several hundred of us, I can only assume that the majority of them were cisgender, and I saw a lot of people using that same trick, which is another indicator that all of them are feeling the same way as you, and that's something that should bring you a little bit of like ease on that anxiety. Like, you are not the only person that feels this way. Not a lot of people have like really great body image for themselves, or they're nervous that somebody's going to look at them. And on that note, they're also nervous that they're going to get caught looking at someone else, because nobody wants to get accused of that. Does it happen? Of course. Like, we're human beings. Our eyes go places, whatever. But the last thing I want to say about this is that it's not like the movies, or at least it's not anymore, where everyone's like messing around in the shower and playing like grab ass or snapping towels or roughhousing. Like, it's not like that now from what I have seen. And like I said, I've been in group shower situations for lots of different courses that I've gone through, and I've never ever witnessed that. I've never witnessed somebody commenting about somebody else's body, looking at somebody else, saying something. I've never seen any of that, and I've never seen any kind of like roughhousing and stuff like that. I've seen a lot of people trying to be really discreet. I've seen a lot of people who were really uncomfortable about going in there, up to and including like literally walking into the bathroom, seeing that there was a line to get into the shower, seeing that there were like multiple people in there already, and waiting to come back and take their shower. There were also times that somebody would come in when I was in there, whether I was, somebody else was in there or not. Like, they would come in and they wouldn't even come look. They would just be like, hey, is there anybody in there? And we would say like, yeah, but there's open shower heads. And they'd be like, okay, cool, I'm coming in. So you don't feel like weird that somebody's walking in on you while you're naked. Or they would wait. And there were times they would wait and other people would go in past them, and that's valid too. Like, some people just do not want to do it, and that's totally fine. But again, I just wanted to knock this out because I'm seeing this question a lot, which is a good thing. It means that a lot of people are getting prepared to try and go through MEPS and go to BMT. So this is easier for me. The dog's trying to come in, I'm sorry. This is easier for me than like commenting every single time I see somebody asking about it. This way I can just be like, hey, here's my video. So again, there's a couple topics that I want to get to soon, and if you have any questions or if there's something that I like glanced over or you'd like me to talk about more or whatever, go ahead and shoot me a line, let me know, and I'll talk to you again soon.